right-hand side. Held up by Baena. Ruben Diaz. Back to Renato Vega. There's Manchester City's Ruben Diaz. Long diagonal ball out towards this left flank. Nuno Mendes has got forward. First touch was good. The second one, this bounced off his right instep and out of play for a Spanish throw-in. Was a fascinating game, this one. Been going for 105 years now. The fixture in 1934. Trying to play on the near side. Bruno Fernandes with good work there to force the throw in. It's going to be Nuno Mendes to take it. Long from Mendes, very long to the penalty spot. Correa's header away. It was Ruben Diaz who stretched to try and get on the end of it. Baena on the left-hand side into the middle of the park for Rodri. He'll find Dani Olmo. Bit of space here for Olmo. Yamal thought about making the run, was trapped by Mendes, and there's a bit of space now for Pedro Porro. Inside to Olmo. Clear here, Portugal. Kubasi to the retreating figure of Rodri. Back to Po Kubasi. He's taken over as the leader of Barcelona's defence following the departure of Inigo Martinez last summer. He's just 19 years old. He's already won 2 La Liga titles. That's another slightly poor pass, one that's given straight to a Portugal defender. It was Vitinha that took it away. Now João Neves back to Renato Vega, and a touch in his own penalty area for the Portugal goalkeeper Diogo Costa. He was born in Switzerland originally, relocated to the country of his heritage when his father took a job at a factory making toilet duct cleaner. Other toilet cleaners are available as João Cancelo was given time and space to just gallivant down that right-hand side and unleash a stinging drive that was always rising, but it was worth a go. Unai Simon thought about thrusting a hand up towards it, withdrew it before he got fingertips to the ball. It will be a goal kick. Kubasi. Back to the goalkeeper, Simon. Barsi with a look up towards the centre circle, nodded down by Renato Vega. Here he is again, Vega. Left-hand side is Bruno Fernandes. João Neves finds PSG colleague Vitinha. Vega. Mendes. Left-hand side is Fernandes. Little back heel from João Felix. Return it to Bruno Fernandes. It's been picked off in midfield. First time ball by Dani Olmo. There's the effort. Oyarzabal was in behind. He's missed the target. And the flag didn't go up. Let's have a little look at the replay. He's onside. He's being played onside by Renato Vega. Has all the time in the world. 3/4 of that Portugal back line have their arms up, waiting for the assistant referee to flag that for offside. It's a poor miss for a man in such sensational form, Mikel Oyarzabal. 17 goals in his last 16 starts for Spain. He's been involved in 23 goals from his last 16 starts as well. Luis Felix on the left-hand side. Held up bait for the moment by Pedro Porro. Clever little ball. Tried to just slip that in there for João Neves. And that's certain Portugal. The first corner of the game. Beautiful little pass, just flicked with the outside of João Felix's boot through the legs of Pedro Porro. And this is Bruno Fernandes's first chance to show that set-piece quality. Broke the all-time Premier League assist record this season for Manchester United. And they've revitalised their season after its slump. Michael Carrick came in, of course, at the turn of the year, and an admirable finish in the end for the Red Devils. Significantly inspired by Bruno Fernandes. Here it is into towards the near post. Ronaldo went down, looks at Anthony Taylor. Not in the mood to give anything there, the English official. Costa, the long clearance down the left-hand side. Pedro Porro with the interception. Gets a bit of assistance from the Spanish captain, Rodri. Now Simon. Slightly awkward clearance, straight to Renato Vega. Under a bit of pressure here from Lamine Yamal. He's got assistance though from Vitinha. He'll find Ruben Diaz. Now Vitinha, edge of the centre circle. On the outside is João Cancelo. Early ball towards the edge of the box, intercepted by Aymeric Laporte. Only as far as Vitinha, the clearance. Now Pedro Neto on the right-hand side. Bit of time for Vitinha to find Vega just outside the centre circle, inside Spain's half of the pitch. Here's Nuno Mendes. Vitinha for Fernandes. Just let it get away from him there. It's Rodri that wins it back, as he so often does. Pedro Porro thought about going back to Unai Simon. That pass is cut off by Cristiano Ronaldo, but he's been fouled by João Felix anyway. Having a look at the replay. Well, he is pulling him, Rodri. We can understand why Cristiano Ronaldo thought that should have been a penalty. Here's Dani Olmo. That's been picked off the toe of Pedri. Bruno Fernandes finds Cristiano Ronaldo, drills one at the near post. And Unai Simon palms it behind. It was right at him. Took no chances though, Simon. Another corner. Quickly links up with Cristiano Ronaldo there, Bruno Fernandes. You can see the nerves there. There's been some mistakes already. Lamine Yamal hasn't really settled in the game. Cristiano Ronaldo, though, with his first effort on target. Nuno Mendes to take from the far side. This one will be an in-swinger when he does deliver her into the penalty area. It's low towards the near post, stooping. Was Oyarzabal to get it away. Bouncing out towards the far side, juggled out there. Anthony Taylor says play on. Nuno Mendes loses his footing. Renato Vega steps in to keep it going. Vitinha can't keep it. Here's Rodri. Olmo. Now Laporte. A bit more calm in proceedings, settling over this pristine playing surface, has to be said in Dallas. Now Pedri. Yamal holds off Nuno Mendes, not giving him any time or space to think or settle or breathe. Moved on towards Cucurella. Rodri just in front of Aymeric Laporte. Kubasi. A little idea from Pau Kubasi, couldn't reach Pedri though. Here's João Neves. Ronaldo made a run off the left-hand side. It was João Felix who was trying to find the space to play it across, but it's Spain that come away with it. Dani Olmo, left of centre, out to that left-hand side. Here's an opportunity for Baena, and then a second bite of the cherry. He'd put that over the crossbar. On quite a distance as well, Alex Baena. The match winner against Uruguay in the group stage. Four consecutive clean sheets for Spain. Could be a fifth tonight if they're just as miserly as they have been throughout this tournament. I thought Unai Simon was going to come and collect that. Cucurella and Kubasi never did. It's Cucurella. Real Madrid player. Kubasi to Porro. In the middle is Pedri. Being followed by Bruno Fernandes. Rodri. By Atletico Madrid's Baena. Pedri. Bit of time on the ball for Pedri, but not much space. He's got Vitinha shadowing him there, just outside the centre circle. Kubasi will let that roll all the way through to Pedro Porro now. It's Pau Kubasi on the edge of his own penalty area. Rodri. Kubasi. He's got his head up looking for options. There aren't too many though. Porro, look for Yamal. That's too quick. A little bit hurried. Fernandes finds João Felix. And he squeezes that back to Nuno Mendes. Even contest so far after 15 minutes in Dallas. It's Portugal 0, Spain 0 in this round of 16 tie. That's over the top. Fernandes looking for Nuno Mendes. Almost all the way through to him. Kubasi was stretching, tried the acrobatic clearance, didn't make contact. Mendes inches away from it down. Here's Lamine Yamal, found by Rodri. Yamal pushed away by Diogo Costa. The follow-up is also saved by Costa. From the edge of the penalty area, the follow-up came in. Initially, it's Lamine Yamal, just chops it onto his left. Can't turn it away from Diogo Costa. Alex Baena's effort, though, is much more challenging. Go to the top hand and just brushes it with his fingertips round the post. Best chances of the game have fallen to Spain. Mikel Oyarzabal probably should have done better with his one-on-one opportunity, and those two brilliant saves from Diogo Costa have kept it at 0-0. Spain with a corner here. Looks like it'll be Baena to take. It will be. Right arm aloft. Baena whips one in right. Put it towards the back post, flashed away by Ruben Diaz, drops some goal, thinks about taking it on himself, disguises the pass. Cucurella all the way across the face of goal. Dani Olmo will keep it in play here on the right-hand side near the corner flag, pull back to the corner of the box. Lamine Yamal curls one left, put it towards the back post, again it's away by Diaz. Relentless though from Spain. Baena nodded it down to Lamine Yamal, who will make no attempt to take control of it because he knew he was coming back from an offside position. But Spain have just stepped up a gear here. And it's been Ruben Diaz and Diogo Costa in the last few minutes that have kept Portugal in contention. And they've just shown the Diogo Costa saves on the big screen, and it's drawn some applause from the likes of Pepe and Deco, some Portuguese legends, some Portuguese stars of old who are in attendance this evening. Don't forget, America on Belgium later on this evening. A contest that will be fought on the pitch and apparently off it. It's been a stormy 24 hours, hasn't it? Politics and red cards and suspended red cards. Phone calls from the White House. Beggars belief, really. In some ways, in other ways, totally unexpected. Cucurella looking dangerous there. Again, it's Ruben Diaz with a sliding challenge. It will be a free kick though for Portugal. It's Diogo Costa lurking over the top of it. Ball downfield. Pedri. Vega. Ruben Diaz tidying things up. Rubias. Renato Vega. João Neves on the left-hand side. Mendes. Vega. Neves. Mendes. Vitinha. Zipped into Cristiano Ronaldo. He lays that first time out to Renato Vega. Links up with Vitinha. Not much space on this left-hand side though for João Neves. Finds Nuno Mendes in the left-back position. Into the centre circle for Renato Vega. Bruno Fernandes. Ruben Diaz. Down the outside. With Pedro Neto. Cancelo. Fernandes. Laid off. Edge of the box. Now the flag goes up on Bruno Fernandes. Played it off for João Cancelo. Hit it first time. Flag was up pretty swiftly from the far side of the pitch. Gary Besic, experienced Premier League assistant referee. Here's Dani Olmo. Rodri, edge of the centre circle. Pedri. Olmo forward. It's laid off by Baena to Cucurella. Olmo, Baena on the half turn between the lines. Into the feet of Rodri. In that position, low slung in the Spanish midfield alongside Pedri. We'll get the tempo a little bit more. It's probably unfair to call Rodri a destroyer. He's more of a reader of the game. That's going to be a free kick to Spain. Alex Baena. Just held back by João Cancelo. It's in a decent position out on that left-hand side. Marc Cucurella is across. It's probably going to be Alex Baena to witness in right-footed from that far side. On set pieces so far for Spain. So the Spanish players towards the far side of the penalty area. Marc Cucurella will make himself available close to the penalty spot. Anthony Taylor doling out the instructions as he works his way along that line of white and red shirts. Baena flat towards the near post, away by Bruno Fernandes. On the follow-up, Pedro Porro just flicks off a colleague's head and goes behind for a goal kick, and Anthony Taylor will turn towards the dugouts and call us to the touchline for the first hydration break of the game. It's goalless. There's been plenty of opportunities though for Spain. Diogo Costa's had to be at his best to deny the likes of Alex Baena and Lamine Yamal. Mikel Oyarzabal, well, he didn't test him. Went through clean on goal. Two different approaches. At the moment it's Portugal that are slightly more reserved in the way they're going about things. They're a bit slower on the ball. Spain, patient, yes, but when they do start moving the ball, they move it with pace, intent. They are down as favourites for this one, like second in the world. Only France higher than them in the world rankings. Lamine Yamal. Right-hand side from his left foot. Got the best out of Diogo Costa. Alex Baena, though, that's a much better effort. Brilliant save from Diogo Costa. A reminder for you as well, if you are tuning in this evening, you are listening to unofficial studio-based commentary of the biggest of all international tournaments. And it's shaping up now as well. We're heading towards the last 8 now. A moment where you're just 2 wins away from that final, which will be played on the 19th in 13 days' time. Across the river from the Manhattan skyline. I think Taylor Swift is getting married that weekend, so there should be plenty of space for the 85,000 people who will pack out that stadium. Who will be there? Would it be one of these two sides? Spain have got a great chance of reaching the final. Portugal, they haven't got there. Their best result was back in 1966, something they share with England, where they were third place finishers in England. As the home side went on to lift the trophy at Wembley Stadium with a 4-2 win after extra time over West Germany. That's a dig deep. We're about to resume with a Portugal goal kick. Diogo Costa spots it up very nicely, very kind of him to do so for Renato Veiga. And they play it short to Diogo Costa. There's Ruben Diaz. Turn down the right-hand side, and Pedro Neto tries to spin away against now former club colleague Marco Correa. He's done well to tuck that into Unai Simon. Had a good tournament, Marco Correa. 2 assists so far. It's on the right-hand side for Pedro Porro. Ball bouncing away though from Lamine Yamal. A little flick on the way out of play though for Portuguese body. Porro. Back to Kubasi. Simon. Dancing around the edge of the centre circle. Fernandes finds Nuno Mendes. Tackle was from Lamine Yamal. Results in a Portugal throw-in. It's been 20 years since Portugal last won back-to-back games at this tournament, back in Germany. 2006. They beat England on penalties. I remember the famous wink. English tabloids dubbed Cristiano Ronaldo the winker. Wayne Rooney was sent off for a supposed stamp on Carvalho. Since then it's been pretty slim pickings here. European champions since though. Renato Veiga to Ruben Diaz down the right hand side. Cancelo infield. João Neves turns into a bit of a cul-de-sac of white shirts there, and Spain will try and fizz it forward. Olmo looking for Lamine Yamal, but the red wall just closed in front of him. The sliding doors of Nuno Mendes and Renato Veiga make sure that Spain can't get another one in behind and free. Renato Veiga finds Pedro Neto. He's come back from an offside position, has he? Actually, it's a handball. Anthony Taylor making that clear to Pedro Neto, who jumped with Cucurella. It just comes off his chest, rolls down the arm, off the finger, and it's a good spot from Anthony Taylor. Kubasi allowed to just drive through the heart of the Portugal midfield. Olmo out to Yamal. Porro tries to provide. Nuno Mendes in the way. He's got a real engine, Pedro Porro, and a turn of pace, but so does Nuno Mendes. The corner kick from Alex Baena. Big men wandering up for the back. Rodri as well is in there. Dani Olmo looking short. It will be played to Olmo. Back to Baena. Yamal. Pedro Porro floats it out to the left-hand side for Cucurella. Infield to Pedri. Lines one up. It's floated in. Olmo. It was Diogo Costa who poked it away with his foot initially. Dani Olmo on the follow-up. Threw his head at it. It was Pau Kubasi who was still in there. It's a brilliant ball from Pedri, disguised initially as a shot. Pau Kubasi almost pulls out of trying to get on the end of it. That's exactly what we expect from Pedri. Henrik Laporte helping Ronaldo back to his feet. A bit rash in the challenge there, the former Manchester City defender. Thrown in front of the Spanish dugout, Nuno Mendes wandering over to take it. He was 10th in the overall Ballon d'Or rankings last year, which is quite remarkable for a 24-year-old left-back. His job tonight is up against the man ranked second in those very same rankings, Lamine Yamal. Here's Pedri. It's an overhead pass by Kubasi. Chundles all the way through to Diogo Costa. Vega. Costa on ball towards midfield. Swooping low was Laporte. Back with Vega in the Portuguese penalty area. Lofted down the touchline. A touch from Joao Felix. Anthony Taylor says play on. Unless Pedri tidying things up for the Spanish. Kubasi to Rodri. To Kubasi. Between the lines for Olmo. Here at Thabal. Baena. Cucurella out on that left-hand side. Baena. Kubasi. Pedro Porro. Lamine Yamal. Right-hand side. So, not getting much change from Nuno Mendes. Dani Olmo across the 6-yard box. Lovely pass this time from Lamine Yamal. Just when Nuno Mendes thought he was going to try and take him on. It's a clever run from Dani Olmo. Tries to slide it across the 6-yard box. Can't find Oyarzabal. It's great football from Spain yet again. Here's Laporte. Baena, left edge of the penalty area. And marshalled by Joao Cancelo in close attendance. Cucurella. Laporte swung in by Baena. Vega had time, nods that away, only as far as Pedro Porro. Rodri keeps it moving. Now here's Pedri. Low ball towards the edge of the box from Alex Baena. Rodri. Yamal. Central position for Pedri. Laid off to Lamine Yamal. And Nuno Mendes closes the door in his face. Yamal with the slide challenge. Got a bit of the ball, but took a big chunk of João Felix as well. Anthony Taylor blows the whistle. That'll be a free kick for Portugal. On the corner of their penalty area, just on this near side. And for all their good play, Spain, they are being frustrated every now and then by Portugal. From one fullback to the other, Nuno Mendes finds João Cancelo. Costa. Vega needs a bit of help here. He's got Dani Olmo all over the back of him. And that's to settle for the throw-in. Spanish throw-in. Pedro Porro already has the ball in his hands. That's into Kubasi. Now Rodri. 6 yards off halfway. 10 yards off the edge of the centre circle. Moved on by Pedri. Back to Kubasi on this right-hand side. Almost everyone in the Portuguese half at the moment in Spanish white. Kubasi, Laporte and Rodri, who's on the ball now, just dropped a little. Now Kubasi tries to curl one in behind Vega, Foyat-Sabal. Took off his line though, good starting position for Diogo Costa to come to intercept it on the edge of the penalty area and just drops at the feet of Renato Vega. To the goalkeeper by Vitinha. Cancelo. Tries the early ball forward to Pedro Neto. Picked off by Cucurella. Still a loose touch on that far side, which will result in a Spanish throw-in. Ball in the heart of midfield, Pedri. To the right for Kubasi. Driving through the inside right channel. Stops, turns, finds Pedri just inside. Heavy touch by Foyat-Sabal. It's good defending from Pedro Neto, tracking back and winning it back. Cancelo, clever ball into midfield, over the head of Olmo, drops to Vitinha. Now here's Cristiano Ronaldo, lays it off to Renato Vega. Back to Ronaldo. Just bounces up. And here's Felix. Portugal with the advantage. João Neves. Cancelo for Fernandes. Brought about the cross. Slows to a walking pace on that right-hand side. This time Neto will get it in. Felix. Ronaldo had to try and improvise to finish. Unai Simon springing to his left, almost caught in no man's land there, the goalkeeper. João Felix is slammed into the advertising hoardings. He's got a little touch on it as well, Unai Simon. Cristiano Ronaldo does really well to get that back on target. He's almost hooked it over his own shoulder. If Simon doesn't hold on to it, I think Aymeric Laporte probably has it covered on the line anyway. Little pause in play here. João Felix is walking over to the sidelines. Pedro Neto is down as well. He's got his boot off, pointing at his heel. There's enough disruptions in these games with the hydration breaks. Portugal have decided they're going to try and have one of their own here. I think it's a real problem for João Felix. He needs to fall awkwardly on that left shoulder, careening into the advertising hoardings, which are relatively close to the pitch. Absolutely slams into them. Pedro Neto wandering around without a boot on. He was remonstrating there with Anthony Taylor about something, whether it was the foul that initially saw his boot taken off of him. 3 attempts on target apiece, 5 shots in total for Portugal, 7 for Spain. We've had 2 long busting games, quite literally, in terms of England's performance at the Azteca last night. Bit of a shock as well as Brazil dumped out by Norway. Erling Haaland at the double. This one a bit more of a slow burner, but still a fascinating tactical tussle. And Pedro Porro needs to be careful there. Had his touch showing as he caught João Felix. Just reminding him he's back on the pitch after that little bit of treatment, some ice to the shoulder. Strong word from Anthony Taylor for Pedro Porro. They'll know each other relatively well. Both of them have their day jobs back in England in the Premier League. Wonderful ball by Nuno Mendes out to Cancelo on the right-hand side. So a 70-yard diagonal out towards the corner flag, and Alex Baena is tracked back, and then it'll be a Portugal corner. Well, he switched the ball like that a couple of times, Nuno Mendes. And when he gets it right, it's so spectacular. That one, inch perfect for Cancelo. That's a problem for Pedro Neto. I think there's some damage to his boot. That's why he took it off. Pedro Neto's been given a replacement. Maybe a corner. And as we saw from that big switch from Nuno Mendes, he's got wonderful quality in that left foot. Over under 5 minutes of normal time remaining in this first half. Fascinating, actually. Pedro Neto has a big old window cut in the heel of his boot. Short by Mendes to João Felix. Now Mendes into the penalty area, drills one! Huge deflection, it's off the crossbar. So close to the opener. Spain went to sleep for a moment. It's off Pedro Porro, stooping. Glances it onto the woodwork. But he's caught it ever so nicely there, Nuno Mendes. Here comes the long throw now. Real main character energy from Nuno Mendes. Cristiano Ronaldo won't be enjoying this. Pedro Neto with a word for Anthony Taylor. He's frustrated with Marc Cucurella's antics. He'll be the first player. Mendes, this time it's short to Vitinha. Now Mendes maybe with the time to cross. Didn't catch that well. It's off Dani Olmo. One back by João Felix, was it? Only temporarily. Lamine Yamal carries it away and wriggles through a couple of challenges up towards the halfway line. Spain on the counter-attack. He was just off balance as he tried to feed it across to Alex Baena on the left-hand side. He's managed to turn down the touchline, but Portugal with bodies flying in, managing to get something on it. Here's Cucurella to Rodri, now Yamal on the edge of the penalty area. What's he caught there? Oh, no appeals from Lamine Yamal, just stumbled as he made his way to the edge of the penalty area. Well, it's fantastic from João Felix, just flicked a toe from almost behind Lamine Yamal, got something on the ball. A little bit of João Felix in the process. Costa. Ruben Diaz. Vega. Vitinha. João Felix. Bruno Fernandes. Vitinha kept going with that run. Pedri's lost out to Fernandes on the left-hand side. Now Ronaldo. Laid off to Vega. Neves. Diaz. Cancelo down the right. Neto. Trying to switch it onto his left. Trapped by Cucurella. Diaz now. Renato Vega in the centre circle. It's Bruno Fernandes. Vega. Left-hand side for Nuno Mendes. Slide challenge came in from Lamine Yamal. Mendes bounces up, but this time he ran into Pedro Porro. Yamal can't get to that. It's Vega with the interception. On the near side for Portugal. Nuno Mendes spotted the ball towards the back post. Cristiano Ronaldo was darting over across there. But Unai Simon could see that coming from a long way away and comes to claim. It's the final minute of the first half. To find out how much time will be added on by the officials. A couple of delays. Too much disruptions. Rodri to Pedro Porro. Rodri will find Olmo, lets the ball run across his body onto his right foot. Now spreads it out to the left-hand side for Alex Baena. Marco Correa joins him. He'll find Olmo. Olmo backwards to Laporte. Got space to move into and obliges. Pedri. Olmo. Oyarzabal. It was on his left. We've got bodies in front of him. Rodri from range. And that one is high over the crossbar. There'll be 6 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. Well, no one closed him down, Rodri. It's not his best effort. Correa ushers that out of play on the far side. Portugal quick with a restart. Neto links up with Cancelo. Now here's Vitinha. For João Neves, lovely juggle. So then lifted over the head of Lamine Yamal. João Neves in behind for Ronaldo. Will he get there before Simon? No. Unauthorized Streaming quick off his line. A diagonal run from inside to out. Baena. Here's Marco Correa. Deep inside Portuguese territory. Into Baena. Rodri. Olmo. Porro finds Lamine Yamal. And that's skewed horribly wide. Nuno Mendes did just about enough to put him off. The flag's up anyway. There's great movement. Given away by Pedro Neto. It's Pedri. Olmo. First time ball around the corner for Oyarzabal. That is a foul on Dani Olmo. No advantage. Set piece from a half decent position here. Right, Baena has been producing decent quality from these sort of positions. Lamine Yamal's interested as well. The biggest side in this tournament, Spain. One arm off from Alex Baena. Gazing into the penalty area, clipped towards the back post, 2 peel away. One of them is Rodri. And Laporte. Got an effort away, but the whistle's already gone for a foul somewhere in there, spotted by Anthony Taylor. Portugal did have a man down on the edge of the box. Both of these two sides will be content to head into the break. The score as it is. Spain will probably feel a little more aggrieved that they haven't opened the scoring. Chipped away by Costa. Fernandez with the flick on. It's going to play for a Spanish throw-in taken by Porro. Rodri spins, turns it back to Kubasi. Pedri to Kubasi. Laporte. That's long. On the left-hand side, Baena was the target. Cancelo was too strong for him. Vega, Mendes. João Neves. Bit of time on the ball. Driven by Felix. Here's João Felix. He can't find Fernandes. He's going to bounce once before it crosses the touchline, and Porro quickly gets it back into play. Maybe time for one more chance for either of these two sides before the half-time break. Oyarzábal to Cucurella. Oyarzábal going backwards. And a bit of confusion there as Aymeric Laporte aimlessly puts that out of play. I think he was trying to return it to not Cucurella on that left-hand side. Instead, it's a Portuguese throw-in. The clock says 50 minutes, which means we're into our final minute of added time. Long from the back towards João Felix, but the shove in the back of Aymeric Laporte spotted by the assistant referee on that far side. We're going to be spotted up by Unai Simon. That should be close to the last action of this first half. An engrossing one that's caught the eye. Unai Simon launches it long down that left-hand side. It's kept in play. There's Alex Baena. Anthony Taylor checks his watch, and there'll be no time for the Spanish throw-in. That's the half-time whistle. Spain with the better chances. Mikel Oyarzábal one-on-one with the goalkeeper, put his shot wide. Then a couple of good saves from Diogo Costa, first to deny Lamine Yamal, and then Alex Baena. Portugal grew into the first half. Cristiano Ronaldo with an improvised finish, held onto by Unai Simon after a little nod down from João Felix, who's played with energy and endeavour down that left-hand side. Closest Portugal have come is when Nuno Mendes rattled the crossbar from the edge of the box by way of a deflection from Pedro Porro. But at the break, it's a stalemate in this Iberian derby. Spain probably just edging in as the better side, 0.98 to Portugal's 0.26. But it takes a minute, only takes a moment. Maybe that moment will come in the second half. Join us in 15 minutes' time for this unofficial studio-based commentary of this round of 16 clash. At the half-time break in Dallas, it's Portugal 0, Spain 0.
Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page.
Welcome back. Both sets of players back out on the pitch in Dallas. Reminder that back in 2010, in the round of 16, it was goalless at the break. Well, plenty of goals in the second half. A hat-trick from Ronaldo, in fact. And they are back underway in Dallas. Spain with a better first half. Portugal with decent chances of their own. See how this one develops in the next 45 minutes and maybe more, of course. Poked away. Cucurella can't get on the end of it. Here comes Pedro Neto flying forward on the right-hand side for Portugal. A quiet game from Cristiano Ronaldo so far. Fernandes looking towards the back post. No one there. Diogo Costa takes the resulting goal kick. There's no change to the break either from either side. If you did miss the first 45 minutes in the starting lineups, I mean, Zulai Simon's in goal, a back forward, Marc Cucurella at left back, Aymeric Laporte, Pau Kubasi and Pedro Porro, the back four for Spain from left to right. Pedro alongside Rodri in the heart of midfield, Baena and Yamal either side of Olmo. We got Tharbel leading the line for the Spanish. For Portugal, João Cancelo at right back, Ruben Dias, Renato Veiga and Nuno Mendes rounding off the defensive four in front of Diogo Costa. Vitinha and João Neves, the PSG pair, sit in the engine room. Neto on the right, João Felix on the left. Bruno Fernandes pretty much wherever he wants to be, and Cristiano Ronaldo leading the line. It will be a Spanish throw despite the protests of Pedro Neto. Wasn't pleased with the assistant referee's decision on the near side. Spain in possession of the ball in their own 18-yard box. Had some real humdingers in this round of 16 already. This one yet to really come to the ball. Pedri gives it away. Neto, Ronaldo. He rather bought the foul, but it was a foul nonetheless from Dani Olmo. I've seen anything wrong with Dani Olmo's challenge, to be honest. Set piece for Cristiano Ronaldo. He's going to make his way into the penalty area. Portugal have decided to use the likes of Nuno Mendes and Bruno Fernandes to try and find the big man. He's waiting patiently, Ronaldo. Fernandes into the 6-yard box, I should say. Held onto by Unai Simon, tries to release Baena quickly, but it's João Neves who picks it off on that far side. Now Bruno Fernandes in the middle. João Cancelo, edge of the penalty area, clips on towards the back post. No one made the run. Clever idea though from João Cancelo. Gentle little chip towards the back post, and he'll put his head in his hand. It's a really good idea from João Cancelo, in fact. That little disguised dink towards the back post. Simon from the goal kick to Dani Olmo. A little bit deeper in this second half, and the pass back to Unai Simon just about gets there. Wins it back to Dani Olmo. And now a bit of space for Pedri. Out to the right for Yamal. Edge of the penalty area. Tries to chop his way past Nuno Mendes. Only ends up fouling the PSG left back. Fantastic defending one-on-one, Nuno Mendes. Really has shown his class today. Came closest for Portugal in the first half with a stinging drive that flipped off Pedro Porro and crashed into the crossbar. Ruben Diaz forward. Cucurella's header away. And on the left-hand side is Alex Baena. Spotted the run of Lamine Yamal, who just peeled in for that right-hand side, picked up by João Neves, and now here's Pedro Neto across the face of goal with his right foot. Cristiano Ronaldo can't quite get there in time, and it's had to play on the far side for a Spanish throw-in. Just couldn't catch up with Pedro Neto. Cucurella was out of position. It's into a really good area from Pedro Neto. It's Baena. Olmo. Nuno Mendes. In front of Dani Olmo. Just wait for it to trundle over the touchline and that'll be it. Portuguese throw-in. Spain with a slow start to this second half. Portugal do look in the mood, and that's a decent throw-in into Vitinho. Now a space between the lines. It's just behind Cristiano Ronaldo. Poked away by Cucurella and Rodri. Now Kubasi for Olmo, and Yamal tries to go on the outside of Mendes, and he's left him trailing. Here's Lamine Yamal, looks at the pullback, and João Cancelo is able to clear. Hasn't been beaten too many times tonight, Nuno Mendes. Needs more options in the penalty area. And Pedro Porro to take the throw in. Into Kubasi. The halfway line, the Barcelona defender. Pedri, Olmo, Oyarzabal, Rodri. Baena inside to Rodri. Across to Kubasi. Shuffle to the right to Porro. For Yamal, Porro lost his footing and it bounced off of Pedro Porro, and here they come, Portugal, with Bruno Fernandes. Porro getting back into position, just to stop the momentum. Here's Ronaldo. You try and do it alone. It's a good challenge. Sliding in went Mikel Oyarzabal. Nuno Mendes is down again. Looks pretty resigned as well. When Yamal went past him, there was a little pause before the Pedro Porro throw-in as Anthony Taylor checked on him because he wasn't moving well. He's just taken a seat in this turf now. Does well, got something on the little cutback from Lamine Yamal, but he was really stretching every sinew, and maybe he's done a bit more than stretch the Portuguese medical team on. This certainly would be something that Portugal would like to avoid, especially considering the fact he's up against Lamine Yamal on that side. Too many options at fullback. Diogo Dalot, of course, of Manchester United, and Nelson Semedo. Nuno Mendes is hobbling towards the touchline. We're preparing the change, and it will be Semedo, I'm sure. Well, the Fenerbahce fullback, formerly with Wolves, he actually left Wolves last year to join Fenerbahce to play under Jose Mourinho. Mourinho was sacked a month later and took the job at Nelson Semedo's old club Benfica. He's really thrust into the firing line here as the first change of the game is the Portuguese one. It's horrible to see that for Nuno Mendes. Off goes Nuno Mendes and on comes Nelson Semedo, confirmation of the change. By Simon, straight to Semedo. His first touch is to cushion it down. It's João Neves. Finds Renato Vega. Slip back to Diogo Costa. Costa's clearance out towards the far side. Powerful header away by Pedro Porro at the expense of a Portuguese throw-in. Nuno Mendes has made his way back to this near side where the dugouts are situated, and it's a good round of applause from both Spanish and Portuguese supporters alike. And by Semedo, flicked on by Neves. Felix rather. Neves gave chase. Another throw in slightly further forward here, Portugal. Medical team still with Nuno Mendes. And that's flicked on by João Felix. Chopped to Cristiano Ronaldo. The flag was up pretty swiftly. Pedri, overhit pass. Well, they can't all be classics. This one sounds a way to go to burst into life. Cancelo. It's given straight to Pedri. On halfway, Pedri can't weave his way through. Breaks out to Cucurella though. And now Rodri. Lofted out to Baena on this near side. Left by Oyarzabal on the half turn. Couldn't quite force it past Vega. That's a lovely touch though from Bruno Fernandes rather, to drive out to that left-hand side. Looking up with Semedo. Decent turn of pace, Nelson Semedo. Won't show it at the moment. Vitinha, Fernandes, Neves, Vega. Now Ruben Diaz in the centre circle. Vitinha. Out to that left-hand side. Here's João Neves. Held up in the penalty area by João Felix. Towards the back post. Ronaldo is there. Managed to get a boot on it. Couldn't really generate any pace or direction. And it loops into the gloves of Unai Simon at the back post. Still has the ball, the Spanish goalkeeper as well. This one will go long. Can't stop off of Neto. Onto Baena. Pedri. Rodri. Pedro Porro out on the right hand side. Pedri to Rodri. Now Olmo left of centre. Laid off to Cucurella. Laporte. Kubasi. A little bit of space on the right for Lamine Yamal. Semedo tries to close it down. Kubasi. Lamine Yamal. It's against Semedo, and now João Felix was caught by Lamine Yamal. A combination of that left-hand side, whether it was Nuno Mendes and João Felix, and now Nelson Semedo. He's not been lazy on top of his defensive duties. It's fed through by Rodri. Dani Olmo on the edge of the penalty area. Can he feed Pedri here? It's over the crossbar yet again. Baena in, scooped away. As far as Yamal, and he's won Spain another corner. And it's Baena to take again. From this near side. Baena towards the back post. It's a strong claim from Diogo Costa. There's time in the back four at the moment for Bruno Fernandes. Vitinha. Semedo. Vitinha. Fernandes. Almost dropping into that. Switched across to Cancelo. It's off of combination of Cucurella, as Neto tried to force his way through. Vitinha. That's a foul on Bruno Fernandes. Cancelo finds Vitinha. Neto, edge of the box, little give and go. Cancelo couldn't find Neto. Bounce had a play for another Portuguese throw-in. Taken by João Cancelo. Semedo out on the left-hand side now. Back to Diogo Costa. Put forward by Cancelo. Laporte comfortable underneath it. Pedri, comfortable in possession. Rodri, back to Laporte. Kabasi. Pedri. Kubasi to Unai Simon. Towards halfway, Vega. Unauthorized. Jamal. Paena, left edge of the penalty area. He's got it back, Paena. Low shot, gobbled up by Diogo Costa. Didn't really commit to the effort, Alex Baena. He's just scuffed it, really. "65 minutes gone, still no change to the scoreline. Really the pace, in fact, it's probably dipped off a little bit in this second half. Probably a timely moment to remind you that if we are all square after 90 minutes, we will go to half an hour of extra time, and if they can't be separated after that, will be that old chestnuts penalties. Jamal. Porro gets it across. It's cleared by Cancelo. It's noticeable that Alex Baena is almost ball watching. In fact, he's not even in the frame as that's across the 6-yard box. Cucurella is closer to the ball than Baena. In by Porro. Back to Laporte. Oyarzabal. Cucurella. Down the left for Baena. Back to Cucurella. Laporte. Kubasi. Porro. Lamine Yamal. Little drop of the shoulder. Really ran into Nelson Semedo. Wants the free kick, and Anthony Taylor tells him to get back to his feet. Nothing doing for me as well. Baena in a central position now. Rodri. Pedri. Lamine Yamal. Rodri. Kubasi for Porro. Rodri. Cucurella. Laporte. Well, they're keeping the ball well, Spain, but not doing a huge amount with it. Kubasi finds Baena. Central position just outside the penalty area. Tried to find Pedri. And Oyarzabal bounced away from him. And that'll be the signal for the second, I should say, hydration break. Anthony Taylor waves them across to the touchline. If there is an apt time for the second half hydration break to come, it probably is now. It's slightly a pedestrian second half in Dallas. I remember, winner of this match will go to LA to face the winner of the next match this evening, USA taking on Belgium. And tomorrow, Argentina take on Egypt before Colombia face Switzerland. Roberto Martinez just having a word with a couple of his Portugal players. An improvement in terms of performance levels in this second half from the Portuguese. But it's been tight and tense, and it's an overused word in football commentary, but cagey, really. Not really many other ways of describing it. There's almost a sense that neither side wants to gamble too much and potentially concede the first goal. Spain undoubtedly have more quality in their ranks and some game changers on the bench. It's noticeable, in fact, that Luis de la Fuente hasn't turned to his substitutes yet, as we are in the 70th minute in Dallas. Well, looks like Roberto Martinez is going to be introducing Rafa Leao. But that's a statistic that really underlines the game so far, as we haven't had a shot on target since the 37th minute of the game. It's been a disciplined performance from Portugal. Spain have struggled to break him down. Lamine Yamal, a man of undoubted quality, who can pretty much pick his way through any defence, has struggled to find space initially against Nuno Mendes, and João Felix has been tracking back. Now Nelson Semedo. Roberto Martinez has got the iPad out. He's very animated there, the former Everton and Wigan manager. Stick with Belgium as well, wasn't there? Two changes, in fact, for Portugal. And João Cancelo's going to be replaced by Diogo Dalot. João Felix, who goes off. And Rafael Leao is going to come on. Get confirmation of those two changes. The two Joaos off. The two of the Joaos, I should say. Manchester United's Diogo Dalot on, as is Milan's Rafa Leao, who really has something about him. Can frustrate, inconsistent at times. Has that X factor you're looking for. Might be the change that opens the game up a little, not just for Portugal in terms of getting forward with the attacking talents of Leao, but for Spain as well. We'll have less inclination to drop back and do the defensive work that João Felix had been doing alongside the left back, initially Nuno Mendes and now Nelson Semedo, and almost to reinforce that point, Nelson Semedo just beaten by Lamine Yamal and was pulled back. That'll be a free kick right on the corner of the penalty area, out on that far side. Three, hunched over the ball. Baena, Oyarzabal, and Lamine Yamal. Oyarzabal will depart and head off for more productive pastures in the heart of the 18-yard box, and Alex Baena is going to join a line of three on the edge of the penalty area. And it's Lamine Yamal, a couple of steps away from the corner of the penalty area from that right-hand side, one in the wall. That's Rafa Leao, it's straight at the goalkeeper. Safety first, though, from Diogo Costa. Pokes it over the crossbar. But don't forget, if you want to watch this game, be sure to tune into your local, national, regional broadcasters who will surely be showing this. One of the greatest of all time, Cristiano Ronaldo against the latest generation, Lamine Yamal. Forced the save out of Diogo Costa there, and the ball flashed across as Seen him poke that away. Nelson Semedo gets it cleared up towards the halfway line. It's taken down by Porro. And turned back to Unai Simon. Well, about to see the first change of the evening for Spain. Ferran Torres is about to come on. Again, Lamine Yamal wanted a free kick. Anthony Taylor not interested. He's a very trusted player by Luis de la Fuente. And has tracked in front of him across the age groups from A16 to the under-18 to the 20s and under-21s. Calls him always reliable and sometimes brilliant. It's a good way of describing his career. There's Olmo. Down the right-hand side. Semedo needs to get back, needs a bit of help. João Neves trying to help him out. It's ball across the face of the penalty area by Lamine Yamal, but it won't reach Alex Baena. Here's Rafa Leao. Links up with Fernandes. Neves. Fernandes. Springs one forward. Dalot. That's away by Alex Baena for a Spain throw. And the cue for the Spanish change. And I imagine it's going to be for Mikel Oyarzabal. No, it's not. It's Alex Baena, in fact. So Ferran Torres on. 21 goals for Barcelona this season. Stints at Manchester City as well. Dalot, Rafael Leao gets away from Porro. Ronaldo's in an offside position, is he? No flag. Vitinha from a long way out. Deflection. Might drop here to Bruno Fernandes. He's used his body well. Cucurella was in the way. But he still gets the shot away, Bruno Fernandes. From the moment Unai Simon was worried, it's into the side netting. Looked offside in the build-up, Cristiano Ronaldo. Pedri. Cucurella. One's poked backwards to Diogo Costa. Semedo for Leao. Dispossessed by Pedro Porro, and here's Lamine Yamal. He's in behind Semedo, pulls it back into the box. Dani Olmo tried to slip it through. Oyarzabal and Ferran Torres operating in the same area at the moment. Pedri, 35 yards from goal, central position. Rodri, Olmo. Kubasi. Rodri. It's methodical from Spain. Kubasi. Rodri. Pedri. Porro. Pedri. What's the run of Ferran Torres? Will look to link up with his club teammate. He was always running away from him. But, sliding in with Vega. Can't do much more than just turn it into the side netting. Vega will take the goal kick. Short to Diogo Costa, the goalkeeper. And that one's lashed downfield. And possession handed straight back to Spain. Unai Simon. Here's Rodri. Pedri. Cucurella. Bumped into by Pedro Neto, goes down. Stayed down for a while as well. Rodri. Torres. Nice little turn. Escaped Dalot though. Cucurella finds Pedri. Inside to Rodri. Oyarzabal. Olmo. Turns on the edge of the box. Brilliant block from Ruben Diaz. Well, Olmo just popped up in a little bit of half space between the defenders. Superb block though from Ruben Diaz. Make sure he can't get that on target. Yamal on the corner. The left-footed in-swinger towards the back post. Diogo Costa got almost caught underneath it, but good strong touch, pushes it wide. Rodri back into the mix and punched away by Diogo Costa this time. Spain have a player down in the penalty area. Anthony Taylor aware, Lamine Yamal will play on. It's Ferran Torres, he's back on his feet towards an near post, across the 6-yard box, poked away by Nelson Semedo. Ferran Torres suggests there's the use of a hand in there somewhere as well. It's Renato Vega, they think it's hit the arm of. It's not. It's underneath his armpit. What a set piece. Lamine Yamal. Left-footed in-swinger again. Drops it to Rodri and he controlled that with his hand. Inadvertently, Anthony Taylor right next to him as well, so quickly blows the whistle, gives Portugal the free kick on the edge of their penalty area. Francisco Conceição is about to come on. Another Portuguese change, as is Bernardo Silva. So some forward-thinking changes from Roberto Martinez. Francisco Conceição, 23 years old, plays his football in Juve. There's Rodri, right of centre, just outside the centre circle, inside the Spanish half of the pitch. Forward to Ferran Torres by Kubasi. Now Lamine Yamal. Semedo in his sights, pulled back to the edge of the penalty area. Ferran Torres tried to poke that past Semedo to Lamine Yamal, and now maybe a chance for Portugal to get forward. Neto finds Ronaldo, right hand side. It's backwards. Dallo. Vitinha. Backward the two centre halves. Ruben Diaz and Renato Vega. There's Rafa Leao. Running at Pedro Porro. Goes beyond Pedro Porro. Leao. Porro with the challenge. Had to be perfect. Got something on it. And it bobbles up to Unai Simon. That's what they've been missing. Portugal, some kind of impetus, endeavour. Take on a man. Olmo. Ferran Torres. Into the middle of the park for Pedri. Now Rodri. Oyarzabal. Yamal. Oyarzabal. Bounces back to him off Vega. And Vega will prod it free to Bruno Fernandes. Rafa Leao steps away from Pedro Porro. Bruno Fernandes can't get that past Kubasi. And now a chance for Portugal to make those two changes. Pedro Neto departs to be replaced by Francisco Conceição. Chelsea gives way for Juventus. And it's the end of the evening for Vitinha. And he'll make way for Bernardo Silva to earn cap number 113. He's up to 4th in the all-time rankings of Portugal internationals. Former Manchester City captain. Signed departed Manchester City at the end of the season. Signed a 2-year contract to join Real Madrid right at the start of this tournament. Mikel Merino being prepared by Spain. Leao down the left. He's just occupying a few more bodies now, Rafael Leao. Fernandes into Silva. Back to Fernandes. That one's high over the penalty area. Fabian Ruiz is about to come on as well for Spain. Fernandes juggling. Conceição. Can produce a bit of magic. Here comes the double Spanish change. Fabian Ruiz is on to replace Pedri. Dani Olmo will give way for Fabian Ruiz. Mikel Merino, I should say. A significant PSG representation this evening. Dani Olmo has looked threatening, especially in his second half. Dalot. Can't win it back. Rodri. Lamine Yamal. From deep in his own half. Trying to accelerate away past the edge of the centre circle. Now to his right. Oyarzabal. Rodri. Yamal. First time ball floated across to the left hand side. Taken down by Fabian Ruiz. Took a deflection. Looked up in the air and Diogo Costa will claim. So effortless for Lamine Yamal. Just breaks into top speed. Here's Rodri. Cucurella. Laporte. Ruiz. Ferran Torres for Cucurella. Fabian Ruiz. Oyarzabal has to scamper to make sure that Spain keeps that. It's back to Pedro Porro. Kubasi. Oh, with Aymeric Laporte. Torres. Silva chasing after this ball. Laporte. Unai Simon. Clearance away by Semedo. Drops to Fabian Ruiz, and now Mikel Merino will turn and go. 6 Portuguese shirts in front of him. Made that 8, now 9 as Rafael Leao gets back. And Cristiano Ronaldo staring downfield. Porro to Yamal. Torres. Can he turn? He can. Trying to find space. He forced out to the edge of the box, and Yamal's been blocked off. Diogo Costa. Good. Keep it from going out of play. It's a fascinating one now, because it seems like neither of these two sides, Spain are giving it more of a go, but don't really look like they're going to threaten at any point. Portugal, they've made some changes. Leao on, Conceição on, Silva, Semedo and Dalot. All 5 changes made. Haven't really changed the flow of the game. Here's Conceição. Maybe they will now. Diogo Dallo, little step over in front of Cucurella. Return ball inside, slightly behind Conceição. Which means he's given away to Rodri. Merino barged out of the way by Bernardo Silva, and a yellow card for the former Manchester City man. There's a devil in him every now and then. Bernardo Silva. Well, officially we have 90 seconds remaining of normal time. Kubasi to Simon. Well, it's clear Vega underneath it, as he has been throughout the evening. Flicked away by Silva. And Laporte allows that to run through to Unai Simon. Cristiano Ronaldo was lurking, but the flag was up anyway. Spain allowed to play on. Here's Ferran Torres. Ruiz. Rodri. Pedro Porro. Out to Yamal. On the right-hand side. This is Semedo. Keep his eyes fixed on the ball. It's back with Porro. Now back towards halfway with Kubasi. Laporte. Rodri. And Silva. Rash. Try and win it back. Merino goes down. 6 minutes of time is going to be added on. Rodri. Ferran Torres all the way through. Merino! Mikel Merino off the bench with the killer blow. Ghosted in behind. As he so often does, pops up in that attacking position. It's a quick free kick. And Merino just ghosts in. They're all sucked in by Ferran Torres. Two defenders go to try and dispossess Torres. That leaves Mikel Merino free and clear. It's a brilliant little pass from Torres to tuck it through. And just as we moved into added time, that could well be that for Portugal and Cristiano Ronaldo's hopes in the tournament. Leao can't get past Yamal. Will win the throw-in. Well, it's the first time in a long time that anyone looked like they were going to threaten. And the subs have changed it for Spain. It was all very pretty, but all very safe for a while from Luis de la Fuente's side. But it's one of his trusted lieutenants, the man that captained that Olympic team from years ago, who looks like he scored the winner. Unless. Big switch from Fernandes, out to Leao. Strong challenge from Pedro Porro. And a play for a throw-in. Here's Rafael Leao on the left-hand side. Yamal tries to get away. It's a bit of a cynical challenge. That's a yellow card, swiftly pulled out of his pocket by Anthony Taylor. Tugged back from Renato Vega. Hold out to Dallo by Costa. Lay out. Down the left-hand side. Brought in by Nelson Semedo. Rodri's header away. Only to Silva. Silva for Conceição. Bruno Fernandes, deep towards the back post. It's come through to Rafael Leao. Semedo. Ruben Diaz. Rafael Leao's cross in towards the near post. Nodded down by Kubasi, lashed clear. And Pedro Porro. Here's Bruno Fernandes. Ruben Diaz. Conceição on the right-hand side. Everyone behind the ball now for Spain. Fernandes. Vega. Diaz. Back to Renato Vega. And that's beyond Fernandes. And it's had a play on the fall for a throw-in. And a hand-up in apology by the Manchester United captain. Spain are going to make a change. Borja Iglesias is waiting. Anthony Taylor's going to let them play on though. Portugal win it back in on halfway. It's Bernardo Silva. Silva to Fernandes. João Neves. Fernandes. Crossfield ball. Conceição. Onto his left. Towards the back post. There was the header. The opportunities landed for Bernardo Silva, who's flicked it over the crossbar. He's upset with his Manchester City colleague, Rodri. He got above him. He should probably score here, Bernardo Silva. Just needs the slightest of touches to guide either side of Unai Simon. Massive chance for Portugal to level it up in one of the dying embers of the game. Mikel Oyarzabal departs. On comes Borja Iglesias. Unai Simon launches that long. It's down the left-hand side. It's off the new man Iglesias. Anthony Taylor's had a little look at his watch. Quickly in by Dallo. Bernardo Silva. Ruben Diaz. Bernardo Silva. They need to get it forward, Portugal. Renato Vega. Silva. Looking for Leao. It's off Yamal. Quickly taken by Bernardo Silva, the throw. He's gone backwards again. Ruben Diaz out to the right. Here's Conceição. Strong challenge from Ferran Torres. The Spanish bench has emptied. They're all ready to go charging on for the celebration. Still have to wait, though. A yellow card for Ferran Torres. This surely will be the end. Diogo Costa comes jogging forward. The goalkeeper joining the fray in the penalty area. Bruno Fernandes it is. Surely to deliver for Portugal. Something has to happen here to rescue the game forward. Fernandes. Flicked on! Oh! So close. It was João Neves. Got the flick on in the near post, and that's the last action of the game. It's the European champions who march on into the last 8. The former winners of this very competition make records again. 6 consecutive clean sheets on the grandest of all stages on the international level. This Iberian derby between close neighbours, separated in the end by just one strike. Mikel Merino in added time off the bench. Where have you heard it before? To settle the game. Spain, the better side for 90 minutes. And they deserve it. It feels harsh in many ways. It wasn't the most eye-catching of games, the most pulsating of contests. It was a far cry from the action we saw at the Azteca last night, or even in Miami between Brazil and Norway. But this clash is always tight, always cagey. And in the end, Spain just had too much quality. It is a disappointing way for Cristiano Ronaldo at 41 years old. He knows as well. His head down, he looks at the turf. At a pitch in this tournament, probably almost certainly for the final time. What could have been, what might have been. He was on the fringes of the game for the majority. Never really had an opportunity, did Cristiano, this evening. One of the greats of the game will play no further part in this tournament. But Spain certainly will. They will march on. And based on their record so far, those defences yet to be breached. Goal scorers from all around the squad. It could be a match for anyone. Spain into the quarterfinals. Portugal on their way home. Full time in Dallas, and it's finished. Portugal 0, Spain 1.
Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps, and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page.